Whether it's adding car space, building a she shed, man cave, or pool supply shed, a Coach House Garage can help you store your stuff in style. Sales rep Greg Smith and client Pat Swanson are here to describe the process of an actual Coach House Garage project. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Yvonne.
So, Pat, this was your project, and you actually had a vision of what you wanted created before you called Coach House Garages. Tell me about that vision.
Well, first of all, what we wanted was something that matched our house. Our house was built in the early 1900s, and we'd added on and done a lot of refinements. And what we didn't want to do when we tore down an old garage, which was built in the 50s, was to add something that didn't look natural to the house that was next to it. And so I basically went on the internet, looked at a gazillion photos, and finally found something that was along the feel of what I was looking for, and that's what I provided Greg to start the process. We didn't know exactly how it was going to be designed, but we knew what we wanted it to look like, and so that's how we started.
I think it's really cool to see the vision that you had, and if we can put that up, we do that first video, or excuse me, first photograph that we have, is of your actual imaginations project. That's what you wanted it to look like when you began the process.
That was the feel that we were looking for.
So then the process gets started. You call Coach House Garages, and what do you do then, Greg?
Well, as we've talked about in the past, we just arranged a time to go out and visit with Pat and Patrice. And in this case, Pat had a really good idea of what he wanted already. And so for us, it was just, what can we do, or what do we need to do to make this happen for you? And as he'd mentioned earlier, we had an old garage that had to be demolished, so we took care of that. And then got all the concrete work taken care of and ready for the new building. And fortunately at Coach House, we can custom design the new garage to suit. And so the garage that's standing looks an awful lot like the photo that you just looked at.
So let's go through some of the photos, and as we're going through some of those photos, Pat, you guide me through what you were looking for in your new garage. Construction got started, and you thought what?
Well, before the construction got started, Greg and I had a lot of discussions, because some of the things that Coach House was willing to do and maybe a little antsy not wanting to do, like a full two-story structure, he tried to kind of guide me away from that. But this is what I really wanted. And the beauty with the Coach House folks were that as we started talking, because we had multiple design iterations, we started with a basic concept and then moved on to, do we want dormers, and how deep, how wide, how many doors. One of those garage doors, you can drive all the way from the front to the end.
Wow.
I mean, through the garage into the backyard, things of that nature. And so it was a lot of back and forth and back and forth. And the amazing thing that we discovered was how well we worked with them, and the fact that they were able to come up with ideas we hadn't thought of. And so it truly was a combination of the two of us talking back and forth over several months before we finally came up with the final design.
And it was really, really lovely. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Greg, thanks as always for helping us store our stuff with Coach House Garages. We look forward to seeing you guys again in the future.